It's 2019. I just saw a movie called Ugly Dolls and it sucked. I saw a movie earlier last month called Shazam and it was great. And now there's a Pokemon movie a month later. So this is what movies look like in 2019, guys.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
That's a twist. That's very twisty.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu. And if I'm tired in this review, it's because it's early in the morning and I want to get this freaking video out. So Pokemon Detective Pikachu is essentially a movie about this guy. I'm not even remembering his name. They never like to say his name in the movie. But there's this kid and his dad dies and his dad was a detective and he worked with Pokemon. And then after his dad dies in a car crash specifically, a Pikachu comes up to him and said Pikachu was actually Harry's Pokemon. And then they're like, okay, let's go find this Harry guy and let's find your dad. I think you guys all knew what I was going into this movie thinking. I couldn't wait, genuinely. The last trailer, both trailers were complete awesome. They were just fun. And I love the music in the second one. And all the TV spots were fun. It just looks like it was going to be a great time at the theater. I didn't see this movie being bad at all. Now, some people have said, Pokemon Detective Pikachu sucks. And we'll get to what I actually think on the movie. But overall, I was super excited for this movie. The trailers were great. Everything looks like it'd be fun from this movie. But when I was walking into this movie, I already knew this, that the visuals in this movie were going to be phenomenal, and they are. The Pokemon look completely real. Like, when you see Pokemon, you're like, that's Bulbasaur, that's Psyduck, that's Charmander. You recognize them right as you see them. That is what I loved about that element of the movie. They look so good. The city doesn't look like, oh, that's just New York City. They just recorded in New York City. No, it looks like a completely different city. Whether it's Tokyo or not, I've never been to Tokyo, so I don't know. Or maybe some Chinese, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'm being racist. I don't know. The point is, visually, the movie was fantastic. And easily the best part of this movie, everybody's already said this, but easily the best part was Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. He was hilarious in this movie. There's actually a couple jokes in this movie. I know somebody's already pointed this out, but that there's kind of PG Deadpool jokes in the movie. And a couple of times I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know we're allowed to say that in a PG rated movie, but I guess we are. But other than that, he was hilarious, he was funny, his animation was fantastic. I just loved Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. The face animation on him was great. The jokes he made, he was just hilarious. He totally carries this movie that without Ryan Reynolds, unfortunately, wouldn't be very good. Like, with Ryan Reynolds, this movie is so much better. Now we're going to talk about maybe some of my negatives, because maybe those are my only, like, really big two positives. But those are big positives, so. A lot of people have said they don't like the main character in this movie. Justice Smith is the guy from Jurassic World, and I was excited to see, he looked like he'd be good in the movie. But he doesn't play bad in the movie. He's not a great role in the movie, but mainly I just hated him at the beginning. The beginning I thought, you're just a jerk. And he's a jerk for like the first maybe third of the movie. Later, you start to like him. He starts to become better, but he's never like a compelling or interesting character to me, so I didn't like him that much. He was alright, I guess. I hated his girl sidekick character. I hated her. She was not enjoyable at all. She was genuinely just boring. She was annoying as well. She was supposed to be like cool and like swift, but she's not at all. I hated her character, honestly. It genuinely does have a good twist, though. Like, I'm just saying that. As a detective movie, as a mystery movie, if I'm to talk about that element, not every element of the movie is like, ooh, I want to know what's about that. And it does get a bit confusing in the middle. But it does all wrap up at the end. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I think. But I did genuinely, I thought it had a pretty good twist at the end. You probably won't see the twist coming. A lot of people have said that this movie just isn't good at all. Some people say they hate it. And fine if you hate it. I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's anything to be praised or anything for me to really think about that much. Or even anything for me to really talk spoilerish, unfortunately. But it wasn't a bad movie. I can see myself, I think once it gets to Redbox or something, I think I'll rent it and rewatch it. Because I had a good time watching the movie. I was never bored watching the movie. There were just a couple times where I was like, alright, that element wasn't as good as that element, but whatever. You see what I mean? I kind of have already reviewed this movie and it's not even at the 5-minute mark. And I want it to be a longer review, but I guess I don't have a crap ton to say about this movie. Not the most significant movie, not a boring movie by any means. Just an, alright, that was actually a pretty good movie. I feel like Shazam, in a way, is the better version of this movie. Like, not necessarily, but when you think about it, Shazam was a really, really fun and enjoyable movie. I'd say Shazam is even more fun than Detective Pikachu. But what Shazam did better than Detective Pikachu was it did the heart elements better. And Detective Pikachu, people have already said this, but the first 20 minutes until Pikachu comes in the movie, it's really depressing. Like, that part I was like, okay, this is just not very fun. This is just sad. It's like the same feeling I got from Wonder Park, even though this feeling is just better, because I will find this character, even though I don't find him that interesting, I will find him way more interesting than Jude from Wonder Park. But at the beginning of Wonder Park, I'm like, the beginning I was like, wow, this is just depressing. And same here. It wasn't like a, oh, this is sad. It's like a, oh, okay, I'm not really enjoying this. This is just sad. Like, it's not like a sympathetic sad. It's like a, this is sad. Like, it's just not enjoyable. I'll admit there were a couple moments where it shows the character and he looks pretty stupid, and a couple people in my theater laughed on what you weren't supposed to laugh. There's a couple scenes where, like, there's a guy with sunglasses and as soon he just goes, and I laughed every time. Because it wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was hilarious, honestly, so that element kind of failed. But this movie's heart is not necessarily like a, aw, heart, it's like a, ooh, heart. Like, it's like a movie that's like, I don't dislike the heart, I'm happy it went for it. But at least when this movie took itself seriously, I went along with it. I was like, alright, I'm taking this seriously. But I'm not like in Shazam, it took itself seriously. But that movie isn't just sad. Like, the heart of it isn't just, look at this emotion, look at it. It's like, in that movie, it's like, no, this is like a family being kind of drawn together. How this one kid just doesn't want to be with anybody. He just wants to be with his mom. And he has to come in with his family and he has to connect with them. That's what makes the heart of Shazam so good. Because it's like an awe. Like, aw, heart. In this movie, it's kind of like a, heart. Like, it's like not like a happy heart. It's like a kind of sad heart. You know what I'm saying? And it gets pretty depressing sometimes, the movie. And when it took itself seriously, fine, I took itself seriously with it. But sometimes the tone was a bit off. But I might be talking a lot of negatives of this movie. I liked it. I thought it was fun and enjoyable. I didn't ever get bored. I loved Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. Jokes from him were hilarious. His animation is great. All the Pokemon looked great. It's a movie that fans will love. People who are not fans will also like it. I think this movie is going to end up being pretty well liked. I haven't read whether people like it. I think they probably do. But as it stands, I enjoyed it fine. I'm going to give Pokemon Detective Pikachu a 7. I will admit I wanted it to be a bit better than this. Like, I'm not going to probably think about this movie all that much. But honestly, I still had a great time. And now I'm really just hyped for John Wick, honestly, because, come on, that's next week, guys. And I'm not going to say I'm seeing it, reviewing it, oh, I'm reviewing it Thursday night. I'm not even then. Not Friday night. Not, not Saturday at all. Because I'm like, it's the end of the year. Come on, guys. I am, like, busy AF. But hopefully we'll get one out next week. And if there isn't one, then you're getting an Aladdin review before you're getting a John Wick Chapter 3 review. I am sorry to do that. Bye.